Welcome to Reggie Sports Talk in the Morning. I'm your host, RJ Kruger. Today's November 13th, Friday the 13th, the second one of 2020. Let's see what happens today. It is a cold one out there today, and I'm bringing back Thomas Yarbrough so we can have a debate that we have all the time, but we need your help. Please pick a winner in the comments section of our debate on who's the better quarterback and who should be the number one overall pick, Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. Without further ado, let's get this debate underway and welcome Thomas Yarbrough back to our show.
Yeah, Thomas, you're about to get schooled in the debate. Yeah, Thomas.
Well, hello everybody. Remember me from last week, Thomas Yarbrough. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me, RJ. Appreciate you. Getting right into it, I would like to start off with saying I think Trevor's actually going to opt out from the draft this year, and I think he's going to take an extra year at Clemson just to avoid the Jets. But, if he were to be in the draft, I'm going to have to go with Trevor. He's 6'6", just about 210 pounds, got a good amount of stature, got great stats on him, has a great coach, knows how to be coached. He's just my favorite in this pick. What about you?
I have to go with Justin Fields. The guy's a winner. The guy wants to play. Mm-hmm. You talked about stats. Well, let's take a look at these stats, Thomas.
Well, I'd like to say, you said he's a winner. Trevor Lawrence has lost one game or two games in the last, I think it was 8 years of playing football. One of them being the national championship against LSU. And then one of them he didn't get to play because of COVID.
Justin Fields has lost one game.
Oh, against who, though?
The refs. And,
No. See, everyone always mentions the refs did me dirty like this, the refs did me dirty like that. Listen, as a football player, you have to control what you can control. Okay? Whatever the refs decide is completely out of your control. So you need to be able to beat not only that team, but the refs as well.
So taking away multiple touchdowns from Ohio State's score and giving Clemson extra drives after the defense has stopped them, you're a defensive player. You just had to stop, and the refs throw a flag that they shouldn't have thrown. What does that do to your morale? How does that affect you trying to stop them on the next play?
That puts a fire under my belly. I'll tell you what.
Really? Because what we saw with the Bears last week is it ended up costing them multiple touchdowns in their game, too. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is that maybe defensive players don't really play well under pressure like that after flags get thrown. And that's not really something Justin Fields could control. Mm-hmm. So let's look at these stats, though.
Sure. Go ahead.
In 2019, Trevor Lawrence threw for 36 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's great. Mm-hmm. Threw for 3,665 yards and a 65.8% completion rate. 268 of his 407 attempts were completed. Pretty great stats. Mm-hmm. Justin Fields had pretty similar stats. He threw for 41 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He threw for 3,273 yards, which is a little bit less than Trevor Lawrence, and he had a little bit better of a completion rate at 67.2%, but he did throw less passes, completing 238 of his 354.
Yep.
Justin Fields is known as a rushing quarterback. Well, let's take a look at that.
So was Trevor.
In 2019, Trevor Lawrence rushed 103 times for 563 yards and 9 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Justin Fields 137 times, a little bit less yards at 484 yards and 10 touchdowns. Some of the debate about Justin Fields' stats in 2019 is a lot of games he only played half the game because he put Ohio State up by 40 points at halftime already. So they didn't want him getting hurt, so they didn't have him play other parts of the game. But a lot of people thought he could have thrown for at least 60 touchdowns last year. And in the regular season, he only threw 1 interception. And then that's why I think Justin Fields was a better quarterback last year. Should have won the Heisman last year over Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he should win it this year, too.
I'm going to have to disagree with the Joe Burrow part. I think Joe Burrow had a spectacular year, was able to prove all the haters wrong. But I think Joe Burrow had a great year last year. But back to the Fields Lawrence debate. I think that although Justin Fields had a great year, I don't think it surpassed what Trevor Lawrence was able to do. If you look at Trevor Lawrence's schedule, it not only had harder opponents, but he had less time on his bye week, meaning he had games on Saturdays, and then he had. Hold up, I just read this article. You know what? I'm gonna skip from that one. Yes, but let's go ahead and look at this year right now.
I'm gonna get to that in 1 second, but let me just counter argue what you just mentioned really quick.
Yes.
Harder opponents in the ACC than the Big Ten.
100%.
How many Big Ten opponents did Justin Fields play ranked? Northwestern was ranked when he played them. Wisconsin twice, both ranked.
Northwestern was overrated last year. Northwestern, what did they end up being?
Doesn't matter. When he played them, they were ranked.
It doesn't matter if they were ranked when you played them because you played them earlier in the season.
Wisconsin twice. He beat Wisconsin twice, who were ranked.
Fair. That's fair. I admit that one.
The team up north was ranked, Minnesota? And we beat them.
Oh, Michigan. You don't say that word. I forgot.
And
Michigan was also overrated.
State was also ranked when we beat them. And Penn State.
No. Okay, Penn State, I'll give you that. But the ACC is altogether a better football.
Oh, no, they're not. They are a basketball conference.
Oh, my gosh. You're really about to say that? No,
Besides Notre Dame being added this year, name one other good football team in the ACC.
South Carolina? Like, they didn't go crazy this year.
We're talking about last year.
Okay, but they also had the players from last year on that team this year. But you know what? I will give you that they did beat Wisconsin and they did beat Penn State. Those are two very admirable opponents, but the ACC
and they beat
is
the team up north by 30.
The ACC is altogether better than the Big Ten at football.
Oh no,
the Big Ten is a bunch of old guys saying they're good. You know, it's teams that were good decades ago, but haven't changed to the game that's today and age.
Who's the first national champion? In 2014.
Ohio State. Yep.
Yeah.
How about since then?
I'm just saying.
Alabama, baby.
Yeah. Well, our debate is about Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence.
You're right.
Nah.
Trevor Lawrence also had the opportunity to learn quarterback under Deshaun Watson, and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think that has to be taken.
Oh,
into consideration.
Just wait.
Oh no.
So you want to talk about this year?
Sure, let's talk about.
I pulled up stats for Trevor Lawrence's first 3 games since because of COVID, Justin Fields has only played 3 games.
Yes.
I thought it was fair that Justin Fields' first 3 games and Trevor Lawrence just first 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to pull Trevor Lawrence's best 3 games because we don't have that to be able to pull with Justin Fields.
Yep, totally.
So this year, Justin Fields has more total touchdowns, 11 throwing and 2 rushing, than he has incompletions. He has 11 incompletions and 13 total touchdowns.
Don't get me wrong, that's a great stat line.
He has thrown 11 touchdowns in only 11 incompletions. And if you add the 2 rushing, his QBR this year is a 96.2.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence in his first 3 games has 10 total touchdowns.
Okay.
7 throwing, 3 rushing. And he has thrown for 20 incompletions.
Okay.
Including 2 interceptions. Justin Fields has not thrown an interception yet this year.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and...
Hold on, Trevor Lawrence's QBR, 86.5.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and look at the opponents he faced. Rutgers. You got it. That's...
Rutgers is good this year.
Oh my gosh!
They beat Michigan State.
Michigan State isn't good this year, bro.
They forced 7 turnovers against Michigan State and then competed with their opponent last week.
Pennsylvania, they
That's
only beat...
Penn State.
Hold up, we're not done. Penn State, they only beat them by a touchdown, and not only that, they were only ranked 18. I get that. I get it.
Ohio State took everyone out in the 3rd quarter.
What? No, they didn't, bro. They only won by a touchdown. And then Nebraska, they flopped this year. Not a good program this year. Now let's go ahead and check who Trevor Lawrence faced in the first 3 games. Citadel, okay, you can have that one. So it's the Rutgers. I get it. Virginia blew them out. Come on. Miami, number 17 in the nation, blew them out. But they have better defenses than both Nebraska and Rutgers. And Penn State, I argue if Miami, the U, goes against Penn State, it's a blowout. The U takes them out. unapologetically kills them. Now, I'm saying this because although Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the stat lines in the first 3 games as Justin Fields, I get that. Great. All glory be to him. You know, he went crazy. Great games. But Trevor Lawrence would rather have ugly wins than pretty losses.
Okay, Nick Foles, where does that got you now?
Back to what I was saying, though. The teams that he faced were better than the teams that Justin Fields faced. I'd like to see Justin Fields keep on progressing in this season, in this year, see where he's going around.
He's going to make them undefeated, and we're going to walk over into the Big Ten Championship, win that, go into the National Championship,
and then lose
and win that.
You guys are going to be seeded number 2 in the nation, right behind Alabama. We're going to meet you guys in the finals. Bada bing, bada boom.
No.
Alabama gets another chip.
No.
Nick Saban, you know, the man, the myth, the legend.
Justin Fields is the better quarterback. And if you want to talk, let's talk about leadership ability.
Perfect.
All right? Justin Fields, born leader.
How's that?
He started a petition this year when the Big Ten said they wouldn't play, and he helped convince the Big Ten to play. He got over 300,000 signatures on a petition to have them play. He interviewed on ESPN countless times talking about wanting to play and why it's safer for him and his teammates to be, if they're going to be at school, to be playing than not, because they would be continually tested and they would know if they have something. And he said this movement wasn't just for him because he was going to be drafted regardless. He had another year of eligibility. But this movement was for his teammates, the seniors who want to prove themselves one more year to maybe get a chance in the draft or to be an unsigned free agent that we haven't been able to see. He wanted them, his teammates, to be able to get their draft stock up. Not him, because we all knew he was going to be a first-round pick regardless of if he played this year.
100%.
And he had another year of eligibility. But he wanted his teammates who didn't have that chance and that outlook of what he did last year to get an opportunity to play this year.
I love those points that you're making. I'm a little surprised that you're making them because Trevor Lawrence mirrored that same situation. He didn't do the petition, but he did share the petition. So not only that, but he had a whole thread on Twitter about why this is important for him. He also mentioned that he wanted to do it for his teammates. I respect how both guys were doing that. They, you know, it really shows that they're leaders and they're people that care about their teammates. Really great. One thing I'd like to mention about Trevor Lawrence is that he also he used his privilege of being a white male to help lead a march throughout the campus of Clemson for his teammates with Black Lives Matter. He organized it with his team, and they ended up doing it, and I really appreciate what he did in that situation. But I think they're both natural-born leaders. They're both guys that, other guys can get behind. I really admire the balls on Justin Fields for being a freshman and doing all that, while Trevor was he was a sophomore last year. I don't know if he did it. Did he do it in the fall? I think he did in the fall this year. So he'd be a junior. But still, like, it's great you see these guys doing taking these opportunities and doing that. I think they're both great leaders. Not only that, but I go to New City Church, quick little plug-in, and I have friends, 2 friends. Katie, shout out to Katie. She goes to Clemson, and she goes to a church that's at Clemson, and she knows Trevor Lawrence personally, and they go to church together. She says he's a good guy, but other than that, I just think I can't really think of other ways of how he's a great leader other than just 2 points that stick out to me was being able to push for the season to be played this year and leading the BLM march on campus.
Yeah. Something else I want to bring up is that you brought up Deshaun Watson.
Great guy, better heart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He won a national championship in college.
He did.
So did Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
You know who didn't win a national championship and was also drafted the same year as Deshaun Watson?
Mitch Trubisky?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And who won a Super Bowl first?
Are you really drawing comparisons between these guys?
I am.
They're 2 completely different players, bro. No way. You're calling Justin Fields wins the Super Bowl in his future career right now. Before Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
All right, you guys screenshot it, clip it. We're writing it down right now on Friday the 13th.
November 13th, 2020. RJ Kruger is saying Justin Fields wins a Super Bowl before Trevor
I will
Lawrence.
buy you Chipotle if this is true.
Deal.
We shook hands.
We shook hands. For those of you who don't have video of this, which none of you do, because that would be weird.
That would be interesting if you guys did.
Yes.
All right. I think that's a very bold prediction. I don't think I can call that because if Trevor Lawrence is predicted to go number 1. Let's be honest. And I understand that you think he should not, but he has a lot more experience under his belt. He has a lot more things that he can take into an NFL team. I think that if he goes first, he's going to be going with the Jets, and that's just a hard deal to make. So.
Justin Fields will be going with the Jags.
The Jags is a better team than the Jets, bro. The Jets are 0-9 right now.
Yeah, and the Jaguars are trading every part away. All I'm saying is if Trevor Lawrence does go first, I feel like Justin Fields will still have the better career. And it's not just.
I think if Justin Fields goes first, he's still gonna have a worse career.
I don't think so. I think Justin Fields will have a better career regardless in the NFL than Trevor Lawrence.
Even if he goes number 1?
Yes.
You're wrong.
I think so.
Okay. You're wrong, though.
Look at what Joe Burrow has done with the Bengals this year.
He has been putting up some crazy stuff.
Great numbers with the really team that was horrible last year.
Yeah. That
should have went 0-16.
Yeah. Didn't they get a couple new linemen this year, though, to put around him? Still not doing him too much justice.
No, they're not. But I feel like a great quarterback can take a sucky team to new heights.
No.
Yeah.
Average team. A great team.
I said new heights. I'm not saying to the Super Bowl right away, but I'm saying a great quarterback can make a sucky team average, and then when you get him average parts, he can make them great.
I think that's an unrealistic thing that's very popular in today's belief of the NFL. I think that Joe Burrow, the Bengals still aren't good. You know, they're still very negative. Don't get me wrong; he's putting up crazy stats.
He beat the Titans.
He beat the Titans, sure, but who else did he beat, bro? Not much.
Derrick Henry got.
I understand that the Titans got beat. But that doesn't make the Bengals a good team right now. I think he still needs more time. He needs more weapons. He needs better coaching. He needs this, that, and the other to be able to create a Super Bowl contending team. And I don't think that it's going to be coming anytime soon. But I could be wrong. Who knows? I'm going to go ahead and say that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better career in the NFL. I think he's more ready. He's got more time under his belt. He's got more experience. I think he's got better stature. I think he's got better potential, and I think he has potential of being able to get better weapons.
I think Justin Fields will have a better career in the NFL because his ability to stay in the pocket and throw or scramble.
Okay, just like Trevor Lawrence, right?
Oh, I'm just saying. Justin Fields is also a tank. Did you see him last year against the team up north literally get destroyed, taken out for one play, gets a knee brace put on, and then on one leg throws a 40-yard touchdown pass?
That was nuts.
While scrambling, too, throwing off his back foot, his injured back foot, to
crazy.
Throw a 40-yard touchdown.
Crazy.
And all I'm saying is a lot of people, famous analysis people, Paul Feinbaum, Mel Kiper Jr., have all said that if Chris Olave runs the right route against Clemson last year, we see Ohio State versus LSU. And that last interception doesn't happen.
I don't know.
Because where Justin Fields threw that ball is where Chris Olave was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is Justin Fields didn't choke on the last drive like a lot of people say he did.
Oh, I don't think he choked. I think that it was bad ball, bad time.
And the one time a freshman receiver ran the wrong route the whole year.
Yeah.
I think right now Justin Fields has two receivers he likes, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and he's got some young receivers around him that are big. A lot of people are comparing one of their freshman receivers to a new Michael Thomas. I haven't seen that yet because Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson have been going crazy for him.
Yeah.
What I will say is that I think when Justin Fields develops a great relationship with his receivers because he's a nice guy and he likes them, that they have the ability to do good.
All right, I agree. I don't think they're going to be Alabama, though.
I think they will. I think Justin Fields wins the Heisman National Championship this year and then goes and wins the Super Bowl before Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know about that.
Well, that is all the time we have today.
Well, listen, great debate. I appreciate your talking points. You had some great arguments. Too bad you didn't convince me.
Well, we'll see what the fans say. Thank you for joining us today on Reggie Sports Talk in the Morning. Stay safe and warm out there. Please like this video and comment a winner. Tell Thomas why I won in the comments below. And share this video with your friends. Join us next week on Reggie Sports Talk in the Morning. Hey, Thomas, what day is today?
Great day to be a J, Arj.
Yeah, it is that, Thomas. We'll see you soon there, friends.